Hi, this is my bait shop card I made for the Art Impressions Watercolor Weekend post. So check out the Art Impressions blog the first and third Saturdays of every month, and you'll get lots of inspiration from the design team. And you can go to my blog, creations.j.blogspot.com, for links to the supplies I used. Okay, on to the tutorial on how I made the boat shop card. I inked up the large shop in first the 969 brown and then in the 565 blue Tombow pens, and then I stamped it off on that scrap paper, as you can see up above my hand. And then I pulled the color out of the lines, just as Bonnie teaches us in all of her YouTube tutorials. And then I will start to add some colors to the palette to watercolor the shop. There will be a video of all of the supplies I used at the end of this video, so stay tuned to the end to see that, and I also will give you some tips along the way. So I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you for watching. Now this is where I messed up. I should not have done the grass until my scene was more completed. What can I say? Sometimes I do things backwards. Now see, my boat magically appears, but I didn't do it right. I should have used my stamp positioner, which was right on top of my desk. So if you try this, use your stamp positioner. 526 is Bonnie's favorite blue, and it also happens to be my favorite blue. So I'm using it for the sky. And do you see that water you can see on the page? This is where I use a lot more water than when I am doing everything else. You have to have a lot of water to make that sky move. Just a little tip that Bonnie always says, and I finally figured out how to do. She also always says don't overdo your sky and fill the page, but I tend to overfill my sky too. Okay, so here's my favorite part, where I go in at the end and put back lines that got washed out by the water. Or I just want to add a little more detail back in, like those curlicues right there. I love those. And sometimes I use a black pen, sometimes a brown pen, sometimes a blue pen. It just depends on the overall colors that I've used on the card. Well, I hope you have enjoyed my second or third, I'd call it, tutorial. I think this is an actual tutorial. I tried to slow it down, which a lot of people suggested I do. And I hope I gave some good tips, and I hope you enjoyed it. In a minute here, I will be finished, and I will show you a video of all of the supplies that I used on this card. Okay, here are the supplies I used, guys. I used this boat from the 5057 watercolor boat set. This is the large shop from the 5260 large shop set. I used this tree from the 5010 watercolor tree set. The flowers and the foliage in my watercolor, or what do you call them, flower boxes, here and here, from the 5009 watercolor mini flower set. And this is what I used for my tree. And I used the small grass. And this is what I used to make the bush. So, thanks for watching.